Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, whose mercy is profound, whose kindness is forever. Hopefully, this particular session is going to be the last one in our discussion on nouns. Remember, towards the very end of the last session, I mentioned that when we talk about nouns with a view to describing them as to what influence, impact they take when they appear in either form of rafa or nasab or jar, what kind of changes in their appearance take place. From that point of view, nouns are categorized into three categories. There are nouns that are munsarif. These are the nouns that would adopt changes in them in accordance with the changing Arab that they are identified with in a statement. So, for example, if we are talking about alim, which is one munsarif noun, it would be alimun when it's in the form of rafa, al-alimu when it is in the form of rafa and is proper noun. This is common noun. It is going to be aliman if it is in the form of nasab and common noun, al-alim when it's going to be nasab form and proper noun, and alimin if it's going to be in the jar form and common noun, and al-alimi if it's going to be proper noun and in the Arabi form of jar. However, quite apart from munsarif, there are nouns that are not munsarif, which is ghair munsarif. Most of the nouns, I would like to say, are munsarif. So, in our initial discussions, we did not refer to ghair munsarif or mabni because they are exceptions and not the rule. But there are nouns which are ghair munsarif, which when they come in the form of in the status of rafa, they would be Ahmad, Umar, Uthman, whenever they're going to be in the status of rafa, they will have the symbol of rafa, dhamma, but only one and not two. Remember, I mean, these are the common famous names that we know, and whenever they appear like this. You do not say Ahmadun, you say Ahmad. You don't say Omarun, you say Omar, Osman. So ghair munsarif are the nouns which one of their peculiarities is that at the end of these nouns, the last letter, it doesn't take two harakat, it just takes one. And the other peculiarity of them is that in the case of, this is rafa, in the case of nasab or jar, they would not take any other apparent change except of fatha, zabar. So it's going to be Ahmad, whether it's nasab or jar. It's going to be Umara, whether nasab or jar. Likewise, Uthman. Now, notice that these are names. I mean, a very interesting example is that of the name of the Prophet, may God's mercy be on him. He had two famous names, Ahmad and Muhammad. The name Muhammad, we know, unlike Ahmad, is munsarif. So we know Muhammadun Rasulullah. Now, this is a word wherein it's taking two harakat. But the same personality has another name, which is Ahmad, and it is ghair munsarif. It takes one harakat. So what it really means is that it doesn't have anything to do with the meanings of a word. It has to do with its construction, form, the way it appears. That in Arabic, the Arabs have a taste that they divide nouns into two categories. Some nouns, and I think it has to do with the sound of it, the way you pronounce it, that they have this tendency, inclination, to either categorize it as munsarif or ghair munsarif. How would we know? Well, through practice. I mean, if you've not noticed it as yet, from today on, you would know that these two names of our great Prophet, may God's mercy be on him, they are different as far as their categories of munsarif and ghair munsarif are concerned. We know Umar is ghair munsarif, Usman is ghair munsarif, Ali is munsarif. So, Ali would take Aliyun, Aliyan. So it really has something to do with the manner these words are constructed, is their sound. And, it's the Arabs whose prerogative it is to decide as to whether a certain word is munsarif or ghair munsarif. And obviously our practice and ability to familiarize ourselves with these different nouns is going to help us in deciding as to whether a certain noun belongs to one category or another. Now let's take the third of these categories, and that is mabni. So it's either munsarif or ghair munsarif or mabni. Now mabni is a noun which would not change, no matter whether it's appearing in the Arabic category of rafa or nasab or jar. It would refuse to change. It would remain the same as it originally is. The famous examples of mabni are the two famous prophets of God, Isa, Musa. No matter what, they would remain the same. They would not change their form, whether they are in the category of rafa, whether they appear in the form of nasab or jar. They would remain exactly the same. Now, to this category also belongs what we have studied in our last session, pronouns. All pronouns are basically mabni. That's what these three categories are. The only thing that I would want to just mention here and move on is that as far as pronouns are concerned, you might have a reason to sometimes be confused as to how can we claim that they are mabni when apparently it seems that pronouns do change. For example, if I was to say that pronoun innahu is not changing, so you can see that it's not innaha, it's innahu. So it is what you might call mabni. It doesn't change, even though inna has made it in the form of nasab. Technically, hu is nasab. As I mentioned, zamaire muttasil are the ones which appear either in the Arabic form of nasab or jar. But what you see over here is that it's not changing. However, when you have the same hu with fihi, it changes apparently to look like what you have in the form of jar. But the fact of the matter is that this change has not taken place because it's actually changing its form in response to fi and giving an appearance of jar is simply because of the sound effect of fi. The Arabs would find it awkward to read fihu. So they read fihi. He would still be mabni. Give you another example, minhu. Min now is another harf jar. Technically, it should have been he if it was munsarif, but no, it's minhu. So what we have done as yet is that we have talked about the three categories of nouns when it comes to their response to their status of different Arabic form. There are those that are munsarif, which change in accordance with their changing Arabic form. There are those which are ghair munsarif, which do change but a little bit, and their peculiarity is that towards the very end of the words that are ghair munsarif, there is only one harakat and not two, and there are nouns that are mabni. They do not change at all. Now, my plan is that towards the end of this discussion on the nouns, we do an exercise as much as is possible within the constraint of the time available. I am doing Ayatul Kursi, wherein we do it like this: Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. Now, I hope you agree with me that that's what precisely we are doing all this exercise for, to understand the Almighty's message. Allah is here, Rafa. It's Mubtada. La ilaha, remember, whenever there is a la which is completely negating the next noun and its meanings, la nafiya jins, it makes the noun in the form of nasab and a singular harakat and not two. Huwa is pronoun and it is zamire munfasil. So it's mubtada, and al-hayy and al-qayyum are khabar, and they are also both in the form of rafa. You might have this question that we studied that khabar is normally in the form of a common noun. Well, the truth is that it's normally that way, not necessarily always, because at times the nature of the khabar is such that it is proper noun. I mean, if you say anta Khalid, you are Khalid, so Khalid is actually a proper noun, and anta Khalid is a statement wherein anta is mubtada and Khalid is khabar. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. La ta'khuzuhu sinatun wala nawm. We've not done verbs, okay, but we do still have some idea of what verbs are. La ta'khuzuhu, it doesn't take over him. He is not overcome by. Akhaza means to grip, to hold. So he's not held by. Ta'khuzuhu, hu is a pronoun and is referring to God Almighty. What doesn't grip him? Sinatun, slumber, wala nawm, no sleep. Now, these two nouns are actually the file of ta'khuzu. What doesn't grip him? What cannot hold him, overcome him? Sinatun wala naum. That is why, because file, whenever there is a file of verb, it's always in the form of rafa. Therefore, these two nouns are in the rafa form. La ta'khuzuhu sinatun wala naum. Neither slumber nor sleep can get hold of him, can grip him. I'm changing my marker, which is going to be blue now. So I hope it's not going to distract you. Lahu ma fis samawat. To him belongs everything. Whatever is in the heavens. Now, fi is harf jar, and therefore as-samawat is taking jar. Lahu ma fis samawati wama, and whatever is in the earth, al-ard. Therefore, understandably, ard is also taking jar. Man zallazi. Man, who is it? Zallazi, that. Yashfa'u, who can do shafaat, intercession. Indahu, before him. Illa, except. Bi iznihi, by his leave, by his will. Now, man is who? Zallazi, za is actually nasab. The same if it was rafa would be zu, and if it was jar it's going to be z. If you notice, it's actually the maf'ul bihi of yashfa'u. Yashfa'u indahu illa bi izni. That's a verb. Indahu, you know, is the noun with a nasab, which I hope you would be able to answer the question as to why, because it's zarf-e makan. You know, when you have a zarf, a place wherein certain things are happening, like for example yashfa'u, it's always going to take nasab form, and here it's mudaf, therefore it's only one harakat. And indahu is mudaf ilay, and this is zamir muttasil, and this zamir is taking a dhamma pesh because it's mabni. Illa bi izni, be is harf jar. It has given a jar to izn, and it's only one harakat because it's mudaf, and he is mudaf ilay. But don't be fooled by its apparent zair kasra, because it's mabni. As I said, it really is just following the flow of the sound. Ya'lamu, he knows. Ma bayna aydihim. Now he knows ma, whatever is, baina aydihim. Baina is again, it is taking nasab because it's zarf-e makan. You know, whatever is between, that is like inda. And because it's muzaf also, is taking one harakat. Why is it muzaf? Because it's baina aydihim, their hands between. Ma baina aydihim, whatever is between their hands. Ya'lamu ma baina aydihim, he knows whatever is in front of them. You know, right before your hands, between your hands is what is in front of you, and there's something also there at your back. So he knows whatever is in front of them. And ID has been given jar because it's muzaf ilay, and him again is the muzaf ilay of ID, and it, of course it's following the same flow, therefore it has this parent kasra, but it's mabni. Ya'lamu ma bayna aydihim wa ma khalfahum. Wa ma khalfahum, that is, he knows whatever is in front of them and whatever is behind them. Khalfa again is zarfe makan, behind them, and it's taking one harakat because it's again muzaf, and hum is the same story. That is, it's muzaf ilayh, but because it's mabni, it would not take any changes as far as its appearance goes. Wala yuhituna. Wala yuhituna. Bishayin min ilmihi. And they cannot grasp, encompass anything, bishayin, anything, min ilmihi, from his knowledge. Be is harf jar, therefore giving shayin jar. Min is harf jar, therefore giving ilm jar. Ilm here is mudaf, therefore it's taking only one harakat. He is mudaf ilayh, and it's a pronoun, zamir muttasil, and even though it's mabni, yet going by the flow of ilm's kasra jar, it's also taking the same form. Min ilmihi, from his knowledge. Wala yuhituna, and they cannot grasp, take, bishayin, anything, min ilmihi, from his knowledge, illa, except bima sha'a, whatever he would desire. Now bima, be is harf jar, but ma is not affected, thereby proving that ma is also a mabni. It doesn't change. Wasi'a kursiyuhu samawati wal ard. Now wasi'a is a verb. It has expanded, stretched. What? His kursi. So his kursi, his chair, which is metaphorically his kingdom, his control, it stretches. Kursiyuhu, his kursi, that is God's kursi. Kursi here is rafa because it's the file of wasi'a. His kursi, his chair, his administration, it just stretches as-samawat, over the heavens. As-samawat. Now as-samawat has taken apparently a jar, but it's not jar, it's a nasab, because that's what it is stretching towards, encompassing. His control, his reign, his kingdom has stretched over all the heavens. So this is maf'ul bihi. But you know that in case of jama muannas, plural feminine, muslimatin is nasab as well. So this is because of nasab. Wasi'a kursiyuhu samawati wal ard. And the other proof of it is that in case of ard, this is nasab, al-arda. Whereas here we had fil ardi because of fi. This one is al-arda because it's nasab. Why? Because it's maf'ul bihi. Wasi'a kursiyuhu samawati wal arda wala yauduhu. And it doesn't tire him. This is a verb. What doesn't tire him? Hifzuhuma. So hifzuhuma is therefore in the form of rafa. Why? Because this is the file of yaudu. What doesn't tire him? Their hifz. Their taking care. The care of them. Hifzuhuma. Of both. This is tasniya, meant for as-samawat, wal ard, there too. Wala yauduhu hifzuhuma wa huwal aliyyul azim. He is exalted, great. Both are in rafa. This is mubtada. This is a pronoun munfasil. It's always rafa. And these are the two khabars which are understandably in rafa form. I've done it quickly, I can understand. I hope that you've got some measure of it. but we'll do more and more of practice of it. May the Almighty enable us to understand His book directly. That is precisely what the purpose of this exercise is all about.